Hello my lovely ravens, welcome to another video. Today is the 12th and last installment of Dumbledore's Office. I say last installment, however, this will be the last creating video, and then I will have a separate video with a fly through of the final project, which will premiere, and I will be there in the chat as well to, you know, chat with you all. Anyway, in the Magical Places book, the link is in the description down below, you can see a Dumbledore's desk, and there as well, and his chair. I will look up a few more references on the internet because that's just easier to reference to the chair and the desk. I think that his desk is approx 7 by 14 centimeters for miniature scale, which is at this size, and his chair is about a third width, so that will be sitting here. I'm going to take this measurement and put that onto some balsa wood because I want to make this thing out of wood and go from there. So the side panels, the side and front panels are these panels. So these panels are on the side as well of the desk, as you can see there. It's very hard to see on camera, but it is there. And then it has a little scribe table there, and that scribe table has that design on it. And I'm not gonna make the dragon because that's gonna be too tiny. I do have the sorting hat. I do have books that one of my lovely patrons sent to me. They're tiny enough to go on the desk because those books are a little bit smaller. And some magnifying glass, I already have those. And that's it really for the desk. But of course I need to construct it, so let's make a desk. We have a desk. Now I need to make side panels, and that's not gonna work. So I've got another sheet here. By the way, this is about 3 mil thickness. And I have links in the description box below if you want to purchase your own balsa wood and give this a go as well. So an average desk height is about between 28 and 30 inches. So I'm gonna go with 30 inches because Dumbledore was kind of tall. 30 inches, which is 6.35 centimeters. I'm actually gonna go with 6.3. So this is gonna be 6.3. Now, before I'm going to assemble everything, this is what it will look like, but before I'm going to assemble everything, I am going to create the designs on the side panels and the front panels. So I'm gonna cut the front panel as well, which will be 6.3 by 14 centimeters because that's the width. And when all the panels are done, I'm gonna glue this on with the design just ending where this part ends, because I'm going to layer on top of this. And then the front panel I'm gonna glue onto the front. So I'm gonna work on this sheet, and I'm going to sketch out the entire design on here so I can then put it onto here. So I've got the design done, which will be there. So these two next to each other, then 2 panels there, and then 2 panels there. I tried to carve it out of wood or balsa, but as you can see, it breaks very, very easily. It's so fragile. So what I will do is just trace it onto the thicker balsa, and then I'm gonna carve it out with my Dremel. So I have the designs on here now, which I sketched in a very soft pencil. Now I'm just gonna transfer them onto the wood. And this might sound a bit weird, but now with red, I'm going to color what I need to Dremel away. So when all the red is gone, I know I'm done. And now we Dremel. Welcome to the battlefield that's now Dumbledore's desk. I did decide to use that tool, and then I will go in with that one and this one to polish it up and to get like that result and not the fluffiness. But yeah, I'm gonna do these off camera and then polish, and then I'll come back. Right, now that I've made a good mess of my desk, here's the first one that's done. So what I want to do is put beams around it, which will frame it, which will give it more of the look that I want to go for. It just gives it a nice finish. I finished these and I'm really happy with them. I have glued the beams on and the horizontal beams as well on all 3 parts. And I'm just going to glue this together with hot glue. So it's all put together with hot glue. I just went over with the Dremel to take excess hot glue off so I can paint it, and I rounded some of the edges to make it look a bit worn. I want to make the scribe table that's on top of it, and then I'm going to paint the whole thing. So for the little scribe table, I found this little piece in my box with leftovers. So 5.5 centimeters by 3.2, and I think that this would be the perfect size for this. Needs to be that length. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go straight down the middle, diagonally. Alright, so now I can paint that one as well. I can make the design that goes on the top, which I'll probably just do on a piece of paper and then glue it up. Now I've added some darker spots with chalk pastel. It's just there, just with a brush, and just go around where I want it to darker. And now I want to add a few highlights here and there as well, also with chalk pastel, and then go over the whole thing with Mod Podge. Now this is what it looks like with the Mod Podge on, and I'm really happy with how this turned out so far, as in color wise. I think, and I should have known this, because of the Mod Podge, it kind of dissolved the soft pastels. It left some of the dark behind though, but I want to emphasize that a little bit more, so I might just go over with a tiny bit of acrylic paint for the light and dark areas, and then Mod Podge those areas again, and then this part is finished. I did Mod Podge the inside as well, just to give that sheen of that wood, because I'm really happy with that light wood lacquer, if you can call it that. Now for the chair, it's a different story. So this is gonna be the chair, and I think, whoops, that's about right. I think this chair is just so high and majestic. So that is gonna be a very high backed chair. And there's little houses here on the corners. I'm not sure how I'm gonna make those. Might just end up being pointy bits. And then there's a fleur-de-lis here at the top. And actually the Deathly Hallows sign is at the back. And then there's tufting at the front. What I want to do because the tufting is so flat really, and it looks like leather. I'm going to do that with polymer clay. So once I'm happy with what the chair looks like, I'm going to make that into polymer clay. I'll give you the dimensions. So that's 6 centimeters by 10 and 6 by 6. So I made the side of the chair, which is also a 6 by 6 piece, like the base, which is gonna sit right on top of that. And it goes down and then down, but that's the armrest actually dips down like that. It goes from the full 6 centimeters to 2.5 centimeters, and then I just created a dip there. It has the same design as the table on the side, which is almost a full design there, and then another design on the side there. So I will find the middle, and then one design over there, and then the other design will sit a little bit lower. Okay, so this is the design I'm gonna go with. I'm going to trace that with some tracing paper so I can do that on the other side as well. So Dumbledore's chair has this fleur-de-lis thing on top of it in the middle. So I think that one would be a good one. So what I want to try is with cos clay, make that shape. It's a bit fragile, so that's why I want to use cos clay, so it's a little bit more flexible. So I've got some corn flour, dip a paintbrush in there and put it on the mold, and then put the clay in. So now I've got that in the mold. It should be easy to release because of the cornstarch. And it is. Oops. There we go. So now I just need to bake that. And then we have that element of the fleur-de-lis. And I think that is just perfect. So what I want to do now is assemble the chair so I can put the Fimo clay on. And I want to use wood glue. This bottle has Gorilla wood glue in it. And it might be a bit of a weird order, me doing the cos clay first and then assembling and then continuing the cos clay, but or not cos clay, just the Fimo clay. But I just wanted to make sure that that fleur-de-lis thing would work. Painted this piece of cardboard in about the same tone as the background of the scribe table. And what I'm gonna do now is add the gold with this brass ink and age it up a little bit, and then that is done as well. And that will fit on this part. And that's how that looks. I would like to thank Leslie, Alex, and Brooke for sending me books for Dumbledore's office. I know Brooke's books will mainly go in the common rooms, but I am going to use some of these in Dumbledore's office as well, because there are so many of them, and look at the size of some of them. It's just awesome. Most of Alex, her books will end up on the desk, because these books make a perfect series to go on Dumbledore's desk. And then we have these two, which are absolutely awesome. So this is Forbidden Potions by Lavender Brown. and Debunking Dementors by Luna Lovegood. And it's just so clever. I am going to put these probably somewhere on the floor because they're so large, but they will definitely go in Dumbledore's office. So keep an eye out for your creations. Let's continue with the chair. I'm going to use Super Sculpey Original. Make tufts on the base and the back, and it also needs to go on here. And on this tiny scale, it's just easier to use Super Sculpey or clay. So I'm going to do that, and then hopefully it will be okay with the glue in the oven. I assume it will be. It's really sturdy already. I'm going to condition the clay, and then I'm going to start the chair. I rolled out a sheet of pasta on the thickest setting on my pasta machine and doubled it, and I've got these two pieces now. This one will be for the base, and this one will be for the back. Let's just cut around this, giving it more space at the front, and I'll show you why in a second. And then I can curl that around like this. Now to attach this, because you can see it just kind of moves around, I am adding Sculpey Bacon Bond. Time to add the pattern in, and they are diamonds. So with one of these tools from Little Funky Flames, Little Funky Tools, I put little holes for the buttons that are going on the fabric, and I just put it in, twist it, and then pull it out just on a slight angle, and that's how the clay does not get into the tool. And now, well, it doesn't always go according to plan. Now I can just pull this apart. And then there's a few that are still on here, and now these are all the same size, and I can make them into little balls and put them on. This is the base done, and now I just need to do the arms and the back. Excuse my stained hands. I have been inking up sides of books for Dumbledore's office as well in between stuff. So this weird thing is the back of this. It's a little bit too long because it needs to go on the back as well. This is gonna be cut out of clay, and then I'm going to attach that here, and then I only need to do that part. And then there's little houses that sit on here on either side. I'll have a look how I'm gonna do that. Just cut around the shape, and there it is. That just perfectly sits there. So like I did with the base as well, I'm going to apply Bacon Bond and then apply this part, and after that I'll be adding the details and the tufting. My desk is a little bit of a jimble jamble of stuff, but the chair has been in the oven. The dark spot here is the wood glue that got burnt a little bit, but there was no fumes, there was no smoke, there was no nothing, so it's all fine. It's just discolored. Just need to Dremel out these bits, so not completely out, but I need to add that detail, and then the back of the chair as well. These parts are now baked too. So this is cos clay, so that's flexible, so it won't break. This one on the other hand, which is normal polymer clay, so that will sit in the middle like that, and then on top of that will be this thing. So I'll be gluing that on after the Dremel part. I added some detail to the end of the legs. They're just pieces of balsa wood, 1 inch, and I'm now going to glue them on with super glue. And we have a chair. I am really happy with this thing. Let's hope I don't screw it up when I'm going to paint it. So let's get into paint mode, shall we? I painted most of the chair and I'm so happy with how it looks. I put on strong tone there and there. So strong tone is basically miniature paint. This one is by the Army Painter and it's a wash that goes into all the nooks and crannies and makes it darker, at least in this case. So this is what it looks like before. And that is what happens when you put the strong tone on. So I'm just going to apply this, dress the desk, put the chair and the desk in the office and show you what it looks like. And this is it for part 12 of this video series. I hope you enjoyed the build of the desk and the chair. I have more series planned for the next year, like the common rooms, which I will move to the next year to give myself some breathing space. Please check out my social media in the description box below, and if you're new here, welcome! Don't forget you can hit that subscribe and bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos and, of course, become part of the Raven family. Thanks so much for watching, stay safe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!